Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to continue chapter 1 of business activity. So previously we studied what is the need, what is want, the economic problem, the real cause of the economic problem, scarcity, opportunity cost. Oh, what is happening? Yes. Um Factors of production also. So there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, enterprise, right? So I hope you remember this. Uh, so let's continue from specialization today. So specialization occurs when people and businesses concentrate on what they're best at. So for example, let's take an example right here. So for example, uh, there's a business. So I have a business. For example, I have a business of making cupcakes, right? Cakes. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so cakes. I have a business of making cakes, and I have three employees. I have three employees. Okay. Okay, this employee is looking very bad. He's injured. Okay, don't mind. So this employee, all of the employees are making chocolate cupcakes. Chocolate cupcakes. Okay, don't mind my writing, please. So all of them are making chocolate cupcakes. So all of them have to beat the batter. All of them have to put it in a baking tray, put it in the oven, decorate the cupcake, pack the cupcake. So all of them have to do all the work. So if this employee does not know how to decorate a cupcake, how to do icing, and how to decorate it nicely, so he will only cause wastage, right? He will only cause wastage of icing. If he doesn't do the icing properly, then he will scrape it off and then do it again. So it will cause wastage of time, wastage of raw material, wastage of icing in my example, right? So, and for example, this person does not know how to pack, does not know how to do packaging. So when he will do packaging, then for example the box gets crumbled, then so the box will be damaged, and we cannot give that crumbled box and that damaged box to the customer, right? So it will cause wastage of time, wastage of raw material, as I said before. So these these two employees are causing wastage for me. So if I use okay, so for example, if I give all three employees the work in which they are good at. For example, if I give this employee the work of making batter, okay, this employee of icing, and this employee of packaging. Okay, so I have given each of them a work in which they are good at. So the first one, so this employee is good at making batter. So he will put the right amount of eggs in this, and he will put the right amount of he will put the right amount of sugar in this, because he is good at making the batter. He will not waste by putting extra, he will not waste the batter by putting extra eggs in it or by putting extra sugar in it. However, this employee does not know how to make batter. So if he will be at his place making the batter, then he might waste the batter, and he might waste my raw material, because he doesn't know how much eggs are used in the batter. So this will cost wastage. But this employee knows how to do icing and knows how to decorate the cupcakes. So this employee will decorate it nicely, and more will decorate it nicely and will decorate it um, without pasting any icing. But this employee, okay, let's not do this employee, let's do this employee. So this employee is not good at icing. So if I will give the job of icing to him, then what will happen? He will only do wastage, right? He will only do icing very badly. He will do the icing very badly, and then he will scrape it, and then he will do it again and again. So it will cause wastage of time and also wastage of raw material, as I said before. Okay, and now, for example, in this one, the third employee is good at packaging. So he's good at packaging, and he does it really nicely, and put the cupcakes nicely in the box, and tape the box nicely and give it to the customer really nicely. But but this but these two employees, both of them are not good at packaging. So both of them are not good at packaging. If I give them the work of the packaging, so what will happen? They will damage the boxes, or they will not know. Even if they don't damage the boxes, and they they do it properly, but they will take a lot of time. They will take a lot of time to tape the boxes, to fold the boxes, and and things. So they will take a lot of time. So it also leads to wastage of time, not just wastage of raw material, but wastage of time also. Okay, so let's now move on. So specialization is now very common, because there are three reasons: specialized machinery and technologies are now widely available. So let's carry on with the cupcake business example. So in the cupcake business, so at first we had those beaters, which we had to do it with our hands. We had to beat it with our hands. But now the technology has advanced, and in because of modern technology, we have got the automatic beaters, in which, like, we put the batter in it, and then we close the lid, and it beats automatically when we on it. So when we switch on it, so this is because of advanced technology. So it is easier for the person who is making the batter. It is easier for this employee who is making batter. It is easier for him to make the batter, and he can at first he was making it manually, so it was taking his time to make batter of one batch of cupcakes. So it was taking, for example, 30 minutes. Sorry, that's too much. For example, 5 minutes for making one batter for one batch of cupcakes. But now, because of using advanced technology, he is but because of using advanced technology, he is very it is very easy for him to make the batter, and he is now making it in 2 minutes, for example, because he is just putting all the ingredients in the bowl, and then he's putting it, and the machine is beating it automatically. So he is just leaving in, and then he's putting the ingredients of the second batch cupcakes in another bowl. So in 5 minutes, rather than making one rather than making batter of one cupcakes, he will make batter of two cupcakes, because it will be easier for him. So the second point, increasing competition means that businesses have to keep costs low. So as I talked about wastage of time, wastage of money. So what will so for example, there there are a lot of shops that makes cupcakes, that makes cakes, and I have a lot of competitors. And so, in order to compete with my competitors, I have to keep my costs low in front of the customers. And how will I keep my costs low? How will I enable my business? Like how will I charge them low prices? If if my cost of production is high, then I can't charge them low. I can't charge them low prices because it wouldn't cover up my cost. But if my cost of production is low, then I can charge them low prices. And if I will charge the customers low prices, they will be attracted to my business rather than going to some other shop. And I will have higher profits, which will improve my living standards, as said in the third point. So in order to keep my costs low, I if I do specialization in my business, then it will make the cost of production low. As I mentioned again and again, that he's making batter, he's making icing, and he's packaging. So um, all of them are doing the work which in which they are best at. So there is no wastage of nor time nor money, and they are more productive. So they are more productive and they are producing more output in the wages that they are given, in the salary that they are given. So this is what this point means, that because of less wastage, the cost of production will get low and we can charge low prices to our customers, and so they will be attracted, and then it will lead to higher profits, improving our living standards. So along with the second point, we also discussed the third point. Most people recognize that higher living standards can result from being specialist. So division of labor. Division of labor is when the production process is split up into different tasks and each worker performs one of these tasks. It is a form of specialization. So, as I told, um, okay, so as I gave you an example in this, oh, this is also drawn here. I don't know why I did that, but still. So, as I gave an example before, that one will bake the cupcakes, one will decorate it, one will pack it. So everyone is doing the job in which they are best at, and everyone, like the labor, the whole team of three people is divided, and each one of them is doing one task. So this is division of labor, like dividing the team in, and assigning them the work in which they are best at, and assigning them that one task in which they are good at. So this is division of labor. We already discussed it. Uh, Advantages and disadvantages. We also discussed some of the points along with explaining specialization. So advantages: workers are trained in one task and specialized in this. This increases efficiency and output. So workers are trained in one task. So for example, if so I have a cupcake business, and I have three employees, and and if okay, let's draw here. So I have cupcake business and I have three employees. I don't know why do I draw like that, but still. So I have three employees and I have to train them all. Okay, so I have to train them all. So if I will train this person, if I will train all the three of them, if I will train all the three of them in making all the cupcakes, so wouldn't, okay, let's just leave this, all the cakes. So if I will train all the three employees in making the whole cake, so it will take more time. So first the workers will be need the workers will learn how to make the batter nice and smooth. Then then the workers will have to learn how much time it needs in the oven. Then the worker has to learn about how to do icing, how to decorate the cupcakes, and this is cupcakes, not cakes. So how to decorate the cupcakes, how to pack them. So they have to learn all of them. But if we are doing specialization, if we are doing, and this will also lead to higher cost. So all the workers have to learn all the things. So it will take a lot of time for it will also take a lot of time, and also take a lot of training cost, and it will add up to the training cost of the business, so making the cost of production higher. So this is a disadvantage, right? Because I have a lot of competitors, remember. So I have a lot of competitors, and if my cost of production will get high because of this, then I can't charge low prices, and I can't be more competitive in the market because I'm charging high prices, and other competitors are charging low prices. But I can't charge low prices because if I have high cost of production because of this method. But for example, if I train this employee in only making the batter, this employee in only decorating it, and this employee in only packing the cupcakes. So if I train them each specific task, then it will save my time, right? So all the first employee is so the first employee, I'm teaching him that how to make a batter. So he will only have to learn how much eggs he have to put in the batter, how much sugar he have to put in the batter, how much he have to beat it, and what should be the consistency of the batter, and things like that. Then with the second employee has to only learn how to decorate it, how to do the icing, how to like how much icing should I put on the cupcake, and how should I decorate it to look at that the cupcakes look very very nice and very tasty. And the third employee needs to only learn about packaging, that how to pack, how to fold the boxes, how to put the tape on it, how to like how many cupcakes we have to put in the box, and how should, like, just packaging. Okay, so just packaging. So he only have to learn how to do packaging. He only has to learn how to do packaging. So it will not take a lot of time as compared to that thing that as compared to I'm sorry as compared to that all the employees have to learn all things. If all the employees would have to learn all the things, then the cost of production will get high, as I mentioned before. But if all the employees will learn only the specific task which are assigned to them, then it will save time of the training, and it will minimize the training cost, which will minimize the cost of production, which will make the cost of production low. Let's go. So this is the point, that workers are trained in one task and specialize in this increases efficiency and output. So the worker who is making the batter will be really good at making the batter, and will be really efficient and productive for me, and will lead to less wastage, as I told before, and will lead to more output, because he is really good at making the batter. So he will make the batter really quickly, and he will like he will not make any mistakes, so there wouldn't be any wastage of time. So he will make more output in less time as compared to the person who is doing the icing. If I give him the job of making the batter, then even if he makes it right, but he will take time in making, then he will see that, oh, I have to put 3 eggs, not 2 eggs, then he will add them. He will add another egg, then he will beat it, then he will say, okay, I have to put this much sugar, then he will measure it, then he will do it. So checking, he is checking his ingredients and doing it slowly, and because this, he doesn't know how to make a batter, so it will take him time. So he will produce less output in the given time, but the person who knows how to make the batter will produce more output in the given time. Okay, so the second point in advantages is that less time is wasted moving from one workbench to another. So all of the employees have their working stations. So if the employees are given all the work, so one employee has to make, each of the employees has to make the one batch of cupcakes. All employee number 1 has to make one batch of cupcakes, employee number 2 has to make one batch of cupcakes, employee number 3 has to make one batch of cupcakes. So all of them have to make their own batches of cupcakes. So all of them have to move from the so there are stations of making the cupcakes. Everyone has to first go to the batter making station, then they would have to go to the oven, then they will take, after taking out the cupcakes, they will have to go to the decorating station, icing station, and then they will have to go to the packing station, and then it will be finished, and then the product will be ready. So moving from one workbench to another, moving to each and every station, it is taking time, it is wasting time, it is wasting their time, and so it will lead to less output in the given time, increasing the cost of production also. If I will if the person if I will give jobs to, if I will use specialization, then the person making batter even if he'll move to the workstation to give the batter to the even if he will move to the workstation, even after baking the cupcakes, he will give the batter to the icing station, then he will have to move to one workbench to another, but he wouldn't have to move to the packing station as well. So it will save the time, right? So it will save time because of specialization. The employee who is making the batter, the employee who is just making the batter and baking the cupcakes, he wouldn't have to move to the icing station, and he wouldn't have to move to the packing station. He would just only be at his stations and bake the cupcakes and then give it to the person who is doing the icing. Okay, so the third point is that quicker and cheaper to train workers as fewer skills need to be taught. I just explained this to you that if one employee, in this example, that if I would teach each one of them only to make batter, only to decorate the cupcakes, or only to packaging, then it will take less time and it will be cheaper for me, leading to low cost of production. Okay, sorry. Disadvantages: workers can become bored doing just one job, efficiency might fall. So this can also demotivate the employees, this can also make them bored, because if I am, so for example, you're eating only one thing, like for example you're eating only burger for a month, then even if you love burger, even if you love eating burger or whatever, but even if you love eating burger, you would get bored in eating them for 1 month. So you would get bored just doing one thing, just eating the burger. So same goes with the workers. So if I am given the work of just making the batter, then I would just make the batter and I would get bored of making only batter. It wouldn't be exciting. I just have to stay on one workbench, and then I have to make the batter, I have to mix, then I have to bake it, and then I have to give to the icing station. That is my work for my whole lifetime until I leave the job. So that's quite boring. Of course, it sounds boring to me also. So it's a demotivating factor also, which so the employees might get demotivated and they would be bored and they would produce less because they're demotivated. They don't want to do that work constantly, but they're just doing it for the sake of their salary, so they will only produce limited output, or the efficiency would fall, the quality wouldn't be high, or the output would be low in the given time. So this is the disadvantage. If one worker is absent, no one else can do the job. Production might be stopped. So for example, the person who is decorating the cupcakes is absent. So who will decorate the cupcakes? The person who is baking the cupcakes does not know how to decorate the cupcakes. The person who is packing the cupcakes does not know how to do the icing or decorate the cupcakes. Then, so if one person is absent, like for example, he is sick, okay, um, he's sick or he's just absent. So any other employee cannot take place of his work. The production will stop. Even if you bake the cupcakes, how can you give it without decorating it? How can you give it without icing? If the customer asked for icing, you cannot give it without icing. And then if a person who does not know how to do icing and he will try to do icing, he will just ruin the cupcake, or he will just waste the time and waste the raw material. So so this is the disadvantage of specialization. So then we'll move to what is the purpose of business activity. Businesses combine factors of production to make products, goods, and services which satisfy people's wants. Business activity therefore combines scarce factors, produces goods and services, employs people. So business activity combine factors of production. So as we have studied before that factors okay, that as we have studied before that factors of production, there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, enterprise. And a wants are unlimited, and we have scarce resources. We all know that, like, wants are unlimited and we are facing scarcity, and we have scarce resources because the wants are unlimited. That's the cause of the economic problem also. So in a business activity, we are combining scarce factors of production which are limited. All these factors of production are limited, and we are combining all these factors of production to make products and services, and we are giving people what they want, and we are satisfying people's wants. So this is why we do business activity, to to satisfy people's wants. Okay, and what does business activity do? Business activity combines scarce factors, as I told you, that it combines scarce factors to fulfill people's want, produces goods and services to fulfill people's wants, and employs people. So it will also employ people. So the people who are employed will get better living standards, will get better living standards and will have more money to spend, and the burden on the country, like the country, would also be more developed. So overall, these are like what is the purpose of business activity. So overall, this paragraph explains it all. So then, added value. What is added value? Added value is the difference between the selling price of a product and the cost of bought materials and components. So for example, there is a Coke can. Okay, let me draw. Okay, this is bad. Okay, let me draw here it will be easier for you to understand. So there is a Coke can. So okay, so this is a Coke can. So this is a Coke can. So for example, I have so for example, for my cost of for example, the cost of this Coke can is $25. $25, and I sell it for $50. $50. I hope you understand this. So $50. So the difference between added value is the difference between the selling price of the product and the cost of bought in materials and components. So the difference between selling price. So the selling price was 50 and the cost of bought in materials and components was 25. So the answer is 25. This is the added value. $25 is the added value in this case. So so I had a business of making cupcakes. So I will my cost is $30 per box. Like a box has 6 cupcakes, for example. So my cost of producing 6 cupcakes is $30, and I'm selling these cupcakes for $90, for example. So the added value, like the added value is $60, which is the difference between the selling price of the product, the selling price and the cost of bought materials and components. So my added value is $60 because the selling price of the product is $90 and the cost of bought materials and components for my box of cupcakes was $30. Why is added value important? Can pay other costs such as labor costs, management expenses, and costs including advertising and power, may be able to make a profit if these other costs came to a total that is less than the added value. So first point is that can pay other costs such as labor costs, management expenses, and costs including advertising and power. So in this example, my added value is $25. So I can this is only, this cost is only of my raw material. This is the cost of bought in materials and components. Remember that this is only the cost of bought in materials and components, not the cost of expenses, that not the cost of utility bills. It does not include the cost of utility bills or the cost of labor wages or expenses like that. So this amount is the added value, and I can deduct my labor cost from this, which is, for example, $5. I have one employee and this is $5. Then I can deduct my utility expenses, which is $10. So this leaves the amount $10. So the amount left is my profit, because I have covered all my cost, all my expenses, the cost of bought materials and components, the cost of labor expenses, utility bills, electricity bills, every bill and every cost I've taken care of all of that. And after that, the amount left is $10. So this is my profit. And these are the, like, why is added value important? These are the two reasons why is added value important, because it gives you because it covers all your costs, leading leading your business not to make a loss. So if you will cover all your costs and you will cover all your costs, then you will not make a loss. And if you will and it also enables you to make a profit. So and of course profit encourage you all, we all want to profit in our businesses. It encourages us, it motivates us to do the profit, and all of the businesses have an objective of making profit at some point. Even if it's a social enterprise, it has to make a profit in order to go on. Well, let's just not go into the depth. Just remember that in order to make profit, we should add value. We should use the method of added value. So how could a business increase added value? Increase selling price but keep the cost of materials the same, and reduce the cost of materials but keep the price the same. So for example, so in my cupcake business example, so one box would be for a dollar. Okay, I had decided $50. It was for $50. No, it was for $90. It was for $90. And I can increase the added value. How? By increasing, there are two methods. By increasing the selling price. If I increase like the cost of bottom materials and components, $30 is $30. Okay, so it is dollar. I'll write it here to make it more clear. So it is $30. And if I increase my selling price, first my selling price was 90. Now my selling price is $100. So at first my added value was 90 minus 30 is $60. So my added value was $60. But now, since I have increased my selling price, even if the cost of bottom materials and components are same, 100 minus 30, I have increased my selling price, so it will increase my added value to 70. At first my added value was 60 and now it is 70. So which one is bigger? 70 is bigger, right? So by increasing the selling price, your added value will also increase. Now the second point of how to increase the added value was that the cost of bottom materials and components at first was $30. At first was $30, and now, and the selling price was $90. $90. So in this case, now in the second case, the cost of bottom materials and components is going to change and the selling price is going to remain the same. So the cost of bottom materials and components was $30 at first, and now, for example, we have changed it to $40. Let's do $60. No, I'm sorry. We shouldn't increase the cost of bottom materials and components, but decrease it. So it was first 30, then let's make it 10. Let's make it $15. So at first it was 90 minus 30, which was 60, and now it will be 90 minus 15, which will be 75. So $75 would be my added value. So this is also increased. Like at first it was 60 and now it was 75. So which one is bigger? 75, right? So these two methods can increase your added value. So I know that today's lecture was a little bit of disaster because of my terrible drawing, but I hope you understood it clearly. If there are any other questions, then please you can comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to, before leaving, don't forget to subscribe, press the bell icon, like the video, and comment if there are any questions, and or if you want to revise any other chapter.